Hi everyone, this is a pick a pile reading on what wound is in focus for you. And so we're going to do three piles. I will begin with pile one. I will put the little timestamps at the bottom in the description box. And we're going to focus and see what we need to know about each wound so that we can break it down for you and help you understand yourself a little bit better so that you can move into healing and remove those self limiting beliefs that have been keeping you stuck in a loop. So let's begin. This is pile one. Okay, what wound is in focus for my pile one? Anxiety and fear. Okay. So let's get the wound that goes with that as well. What wound goes with that as well? Abandonment wounds. Okay, this is very common. What we're going to do is we're going to break it down with the tarot, and we're going to see if the tarot can help you understand clearly how to understand your wound. So this will show up as feeling like you're left behind, or often, it can show itself as feeling lonely or feeling that you weren't worthy enough of being nurtured, being loved. And this can make you feel naturally enough anxious and fearful about the future because you feel that the same thing's going to happen to you again. So this can stem from past experiences of neglect or even abuse, any kind of abuse. So let's have a look at the tarot and see what tarot wants to tell us about this. So this is keeping you from actually discovering your purpose, because with the anxiety and fear wound, you are actually keeping yourself in a place of fear of success and fear of failure is what I'm hearing as well, because you are this beautiful star, this shining light, but you're in the dark. Tell me more. Why have you given us the star? Two cards flew out there. So that is because you need to get clarity on your purpose, on your dreams, the 10 of Cups. You need to take that blindfold off. You need to go into the light. So we need to look at the abandonment wound. So how do we do that, Spirit? How do we do that for my pile one? Let's ask the angel deck here. And let's get some guidance for all those watching. So this is the mystery and mastery of life, the indigo blue card. So this is a card of looking deeply into yourself. And what I always think of when I see that card and I see her looking up at that star, it's like she's thinking about the meaning of life. What does life mean to you? Okay. You're thinking, is there something much bigger for me? There has to be something more. But if you're caught up in this loop and you feel, well, nothing's happening for me, well, it's a sign that there is something there that needs to be addressed. So let's have a wee look further and see what we can do to address this wound. Let's ask the tarot. Tarot, for my collective watching, what is the best way forward for those who are caught up in anxiety and fear and abandonment? There's the star in reverse out again. So they want you to address it. Queen of Swords, speak about it. That is either talk about it with someone or write it down. Okay, whatever way feels best for you. So the star makes me, it ties in again with that beautiful card that we had there of the star. Okay, so it's making me feel that you in your heart know that there is something more for you. You know that there is a purpose that you haven't yet discovered, and that you're willing to do that and to turn that star around and heal it, because the star is also a card of healing. And this is feeling out of the cold and feeling in lack and limitation in regards to this. So, Spirit are telling you that this is validation of your thoughts. Is that fair to say, please, Spirit? Yes, the truth, the Ace of Swords is the truth. And this is the beginning. This is you as a little page taking your first step towards healing this wound of abandonment and the anxiety and fear that comes with it. So that is your wound, pile 1, and we're going to move on to pile 2 now and see what the wound is for you. Pile 2, what is the wound for pile 2, please, Spirit? What do they need to address? The heart chakra. This is about giving and receiving love. Let's see what the second wound that goes along with that is. Neglect. So again, feelings of unworthiness, but perhaps I feel for you, pile 2, you've closed your heart off because there's been that much pain and hurt in your life, whether that is from experiences in your adulthood or experiences in your childhood. It can also cause disconnection from yourself and others. So it can show itself as disassociation. So it means that it can show itself also as a fear of showing vulnerability in relationships. And what that does is that creates a barrier between you and the other person, because we all know that the thing that makes relationships work is communication. So when your heart is that wee bit closed, it's because you're protecting yourself all the time. And so the neglect comes into the tendency to, overgive and seek that recognition from others. And it can show itself as overgiving instead of actually giving to yourself. So let's go a wee bit deeper and see what more you need to know about those wounds. Let's ask the tarot. Tarot, how can my pile 2 best address these wounds and these self-limiting beliefs that aren't true? They're just really, we are victim to what has happened to us in our lives, but Spirit never wants us to stay victims or stay feeling less than or fragile. The Spirit wants us to grow and address these wounds. So let's see what the tarot says about that for pile 2. Taking action and looking to yourself for strength, and perhaps looking for support in the form of Spirit. When I see this card and the lion behind him, I always think of Spirit, like Spirit has got your back, the universe has got your back. So they're wanting you to know that that is the case. These 3 want to come out as well. This is obviously the anguish and the worry and the sleepless nights, the unhappiness that you feel, because basically your heart is breaking to some extent about something. But again, when you start to communicate about it and think about it more and talk about it and allow your vulnerabilities to come through, you'll be no longer be in the dark. You'll be able to open up, and that's where the healing comes from. So let's ask the angel deck here to tell us where would be a good place for you to start pile 2 in regards to opening your heart and healing your heart. Okay. orange, connection and attunement. When I see that card, this card represents Archangel Metatron. He is the divine orchestrator. And what he does is he brings in the orange light of attunement. And what that is it's like an initiation. So it's about connection. It's about connecting you more to the truth of who you are. Um, you're not here. You came here with an open heart. You came here with a heart that wasn't broken. And it's only through the neglect of others or even the neglect of yourself in regards to nurturing and loving yourself that this continues. So Archangel Metatron has come out here to show you that to be open to healing, to be open to connection and attunement. And all you have to do is ask, okay? And you can do that by speaking or writing down or seeking the help of someone like myself who removes self-limiting beliefs through the theta healing process. So the bottom of the deck, we have ancestors, appreciation, and healing. So there's a big call for healing here. And I feel like a lot of you, pile two, have been called to heal this for your ancestors and for the family line. That it's something that has been carried through. So I hope that helps pile two. Let's have a look at pile three. Pile three. What is the wound that is in focus for you? Okay. What is the wound that's in focus for you? I'm going to take the one that fell on the ground. Fear of being perceived. Okay. So this is discomfort in how others view you. So when you feel uncomfortable about how others are viewing you, it's because you're not seeing yourself clearly. Really and truly, we shouldn't really care if we've healed ourselves enough from others. What's the word? Projections onto us. And this may mean, that you're shy or you avoid like sitting at the top of the classroom or you avoid speaking out. The card calls to me as someone who feels like they don't have much confidence, and that you're always searching for external validation from people. Okay, so let's see the wound that goes with that. What wound goes with that, please? Victimhood mindset. So there's a tendency to feel powerless and you constantly feel like you are the victim of external circumstances. It's like it's always somebody else doing something to you, or I've had such a hard life and why do all these bad things happen to me? It's deference. It's not it's avoidance as well, avoiding looking at your own stuff. So these two go in hand beautifully because they are typically someone who has been avoiding their healing and someone who maybe is only starting to become aware that healing is needed. But for a long time, they've been looking outside of themselves to heal what really needs to be done with the inner work. I hope that makes sense. So this is about taking responsibility for your own path. Okay, so let's ask the tarot and let's see what the tarot says about this. What do we need to know about this tarot for my pile three? What do we need to know? Need to be honest, okay, with that Ace of Swords, about bringing to the forefront with that moon in reverse what you have been hiding all this time. Okay. And how do they do that, Spirit? What is the best way that they can do that for my pile 3? By nurturing yourself, okay? By starting to master and really, really take charge with that Emperor. So we have the Empress and the Emperor here. These are the divine pair. And this is the beginning of something positive. So it really is a call to action. It's about taking charge of this little you. This is like the inner child as well. I'm feeling with this one. Okay. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of you have been in your own wee bubble there with that Seven of Wands. But it's time to open up. And this is like the mommy and the daddy and the child. So I think that's self-explanatory. So we're going to ask the angels where to look for a starting point for you, pile 3. And again, I can help you look through my website and contact me and have a chat if you want to do some work. Just have a wee look and see what you're drawn to. Or I can have a chat with you and give you some advice. But let's just have a wee look here with this and get my pile 3 their answer. Okay, so go with the flow and paddle on. So this means, so when you're in fear of being perceived and in a victim mindset, what you're doing all the time is you're trying to control. Okay, you're trying to control your life. You're trying to um, control how you're acting. You're concerned about how others see you. But this card to me is someone who is very happy with, their life. They are just going along with the flow of life. They're going in the right direction. The water's calm, and they know that the water is representative of our emotions. They know that their emotions are calm. They know that their nervous system isn't on high alert all the time because they just know that whatever life throws at them, they know how to cope with it. But with these two, you would be on high alert all the time, and you would be wondering and worrying about what's the next thing that's going to happen. What are people going to think of me? Am I equipped to handle what's going to happen? And well, wow, this is happening again. And we all know that we are all mirrors. And if we are putting that out into the universe just goes, right, must be what this person wants. It doesn't know what's right, it doesn't know what's wrong. The universe just gives us back what we are continuously giving out into the world. So the universe will just give you more of that. And that's why you often hear me talking about being stuck in a loop. So that's why it's so important to remove these self-limiting beliefs. Everyone has them. There's nothing wrong with you. Pile 3, if you'd like some help, just have a look at my website and contact me and see what you're drawn to, and we can certainly do some work if you feel drawn. I mean, these self-limiting beliefs, guys, they show themselves all the time. I have been working on myself for some, I would say, 12 years now, and there is no end. There's no end to our growth. And just lately, I have come through the other side of a belief. Well, I'll just say what it is. It's fear of success, which is tied in with fear of failure. So I haven't been on for a while. I haven't felt like coming on. I have felt like I'd lost my spark. I just went, oh no, I'm not feeling it. I'm not doing it. And I just thought, it's time just to maybe do a wee bit less, or, talk on myself the biggest load of rubbish, in other words. But really, when I started to do the inner work, because I knew that it couldn't go on, because it makes me happy doing my spiritual work and coming on here and teaching and doing all the little videos that I get so much out of. So the avoidance was actually making me feel worse. So I needed to do the inner work, and I needed to ask myself, with the aid of my tarot, of all of my decks, my connection with spirit, just what is going on here. And it was exactly what I didn't want to admit that it was. And it was fear of failure and fear of success. The two of them are tied together. So thankfully, I did some theta healing on myself. I got to the bottom belief of it, and I'm back, guys. So I want to help you with whatever is keeping you in a loop, whatever it is that you're in denial about, because that's what I was doing. I knew that this is what it was with me, and I just didn't want to face it because it just felt like too overwhelming, and that's okay. But there's only so long that we can go on like that. And what spirit does is, if we ignore things for long enough, they'll create a wake up call. And a lot of times, believe you me, that wake up call is none too pleasant. And I don't want that to happen to any of you who are my followers. So, any of you that would like some help through my theta healing process or my soul direction readings, or with healing, or even chakra rebalance, have a wee look, check it out, and see what you're drawn to. So let's pull a wee card from the angels for everyone, if you're all still with me, that is. And let's get a card for everyone watching who's ready to address their wounds, who's ready to finish off this year, this number 9 year, and move into next year, the number 10, the number 1 year, free from the wounds that they've been carrying for years and years. Some of you maybe just months, some of you that have been working on yourselves constantly. But for a lot of you, you'll have been carrying these wounds for a long time. But this year, the number 9 year, it is the time to clear them out. So let's see what the angels have to say. Persistence. Reap the rewards of your efforts. You've been working very hard towards your goals, but at some point you have to take all you've done and benefit from it. Your angels ask you to honor your growth, reflect on something you've been working on for a long time, and think about how far you've come. Really give yourself some credit for lessons learned, tasks accomplished, and fears faced. Give yourself a pat on the back. And I feel that's talking to me, guys, as much as it's talking to you. Because I know in this past year that I have been doing YouTube, I have come on at leaps and bounds. But in all honesty, one of the things that I struggle with is being too hard on myself. And that card is just a message that I would get quite a lot. And it's like, look at how far you've come. Give yourself a pat on the back. And that's the same for you guys. Many of you have faced fears, and faced fears because you're on a spiritual path and you want to grow and you want to learn. Many people don't even do that. You just float along in life and wait until something happens, and then kind of be like the ping pong machine and bob about and just see where life takes them. But when you're on a spiritual path, you have a wonderful advantage in that you can navigate life in a flow state. You are the master of your own destiny. So that is empowerment. And I'd like to give that to all of you today. Self-empowerment. Grab it with both hands. Don't be afraid to look at your shadow. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. I'm sitting here in front of you telling all. Being authentic and allowing yourself to be vulnerable is the key to being successful and being in alignment with embodying your healing process, integrating everything, and just honesty, being honest with yourself and being honest with spirit. So, guys, I really hope that helps. And give me a wee comment and give me a wee like. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye.